Ed Dove is an Africa football specialist and he joins us now from Strasbourg in France. Ed, good to talk to you tonight. What do we make of these claims, I guess, and counterclaims? South Africa insisting its bid was clean and suggestions now really that it is also mired in this controversy.
Yeah, so yesterday, as you mentioned, there was a press conference in South Africa where the sports minister, Fikile Mbula, he was very open, he was very calm, he was very relaxed in the press conference. And he explained that the money that had changed hands, and he did admit that $10 million had changed hands, but he said this money was paid to support the African diaspora in the Caribbean as part of the Diaspora Legacy Program, as it's called. And so it's important to note, I think, that the word of Jack Warner, the word of Blazer, that's the only evidence we have as such that this money is a bribe. As far as the South Africans are concerned, they have nothing to hide. Yeah, if it is a bribe, I was just going to say, if it is a bribe, it really is an audacious one. I mean, this is not typically how FIFA do things. It's not a quiet meeting. It's not a cross pathway in a corridor. It's not a brown envelope shoved with dollars being slipped underneath a hotel door. This is really above board, full blown, out in the open. So yeah, it's very intriguing. It's not typically how FIFA bribery is done.
So you're saying that they are normally much more subtle, but to a degree what it highlights is how difficult this extraordinary web is going to be to unravel, and how many things might have had other titles but amounted to no more than bribery and corruption.
Absolutely, and despite the claims of the South Africans yesterday, there are still so many unanswered questions. For example, why was Jack Warner given complete control of this $10 million? What is the role of FIFA Secretary Jerome Valk? We heard from him there in your report. And the South Africans recently denied that he had any involvement in this money, but yet The Guardian in England have received a letter from 2008 dated, addressed to Valk, in which the details of the Diaspora Legacy Program are outlined. So there are certainly a lot of issues here that are still to be unresolved.
There are so many nations in Africa, and as someone who watches this sport in Africa, how do you think this issue is going to be resolved, given that countries prone to corruption, prone to, I guess, a lot of lack of governance, are going to have that kind of equal say in how FIFA is run?
Yeah, well, major questions there. I think, first of all, this particular specific issue with regards to the South African money, the alleged bribe, I think the South African organised crime unit, the Hawks, within the last hour or two, they've opened investigations. So I think there will be a lot more of an intense look on that particular exchange. And you're absolutely right. Within the context of South Africa in general, there's a problem here with bribery, with transparency. I think Transparency International, back in 2013, I think, a survey of South Africans reported that just under half had given or received a bribe within the last year, which is obviously an incredibly high percentage. In terms of how things will work out in CAF, I think it's very hard to say. The key figure is obviously Issa Hayatou, the president of the African Football Federation, Confederation, and his position, I think, will decide how things unravel immediately for CAF. Will he be also found to be guilty in the allegations, in the accusations? So far, he's remained out of it, but perhaps there's a suggestion that his close association with Blatter may come back to haunt him politically down the line, or will indeed, conversely, he perhaps opt to stand for FIFA president himself.
You couldn't write a book about this. Really fascinating to talk, and much more to come out. Thanks for your time, Ed.
Thank you, Bev.